Look at the amount of bees. Get up off me! They're stinging! They're all over me! Good morning from beautiful Chișinău, Moldova. This is going to be my first video that's something along these lines. I've always wanted from a young age to go to a former Soviet Socialist Republic, and Moldova seems to be the most accessible one that I've been to. Small country by all stretch of the imagination that has a vibrant history that has spanned empires, the Russian Empire, the Ottoman Empire, the Mongol horde came here, Kievan Rus, Moscovia, Romania, the Nazis, the Soviet Union, and now it has gained independence. But independence hasn't been easy for Moldova. It's been under the shackles, or has been in large part haunted by its shadow. But this is a country that has a vibrant, rich history of Christian orthodoxy, of winery, and it's probably the odd one out when it comes to the former socialist republics, as it's probably the most western one and it still grapples with that now. As you'll see, we'll have a lot more adventures and a lot more sites like this that will come up. First of all, yes, I am having McDonald's. Don't judge me, I haven't eaten 18 hours. But if you actually look at their money, it all has the same guy, and I think this guy is Stefan the Great. So he's a pretty significant figure. But yeah, McDonald's in the first country I've been to. Don't judge me. There's actually two very interesting sites out here, there's a mural out here, so I'll get showing you that. Language barriers already becoming a wee bit of a problem. I only know I know no Romanian. I know about 3 Russian words, that being da, which means yes, babushka, which means granny, and a bad word in Russian. But look at this here. This is in the middle of Chișinău, and you just have all these broken tiles. What used to be something here. So it's not like, look where you are. That brutalist architecture too, obviously from the Soviet times, but that's just in the middle of the city, just dilapidated like. Now I don't know if you can see this, but if you look up there, a Soviet mural, probably to the 1980 Olympics that was held in the Soviet Union. Quite a proud thing for the Soviet people. But yeah, even to this day it probably still stands, which is significant. A couple of tips whenever you come to Moldova. Don't get the exchange in the airport. It's a rip-off, and most of the drivers or taxi men take euros. Moldovans are quite a reserved people, so you might get a lot of stares. You know, I'm wearing a big massive backpack, I'm holding a camera, I'm quite clearly not from here. You know, you will get looks, that's just natural. You know, they're as alien to me as I am to them, and more so because I don't live here. So yeah, keep an open mind and try and know that that's just their way of being, that's their culture. Take a look at this. This is, again, in the middle of the city. You have massive derelict building. Then back to where we were, and a massive golden monastery over there playing music. Just, you know, really jarring actually when you think about it. And look at that there. Look at what I found here. And then after I show you this, I'll tell you a wee bit about Moldova's history and how Moldova came about. So Moldova, it's a Romance language, actually quite similar to French. It's at that same Latin family. So you have the monument in celebration Moldova, ending occupation of German fascism. Yeah, stuff out there. So that's a monument to obviously the end of the end of the Second World War. Moldova, in its existence, was a part of the Russian Empire for a long time until until the end of World War One. After the end of World War One, Moldova then became part of Romania, and what Romania was dubbed Greater Romania. So for the entire interwar period, Moldova was a part of Romania. Then Stalin came about, and Stalin in 1940, while the Germans and the Soviets still had the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, Stalin requested Romania, which was aligned with the Axis powers, to give up the territories of Bukovina and Bessarabia, modern day Moldova. Romania accepted because Germany would not support them in a war against the Soviet Union. That was a war they could not win. Then, after Operation Barbarossa, Moldova became occupied by the Nazis and became integrated into what was dubbed Legionary Romania. Then, obviously, you had Nazis in Romania lose World War II, and Moldova became integrated into the USSR, or Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. So that is a wee brief history lesson, and hopefully you might have learned something from that. One thing that I do find striking is the amount of European Union flags that I find on official government buildings. It's not even, people doing it, it's official government buildings. Obviously how Moldova's doing economically at the moment isn't the best. It's probably about time I talk about Moldovan politics. Like most Eastern European countries or former Soviet bloc countries, you usually have a centre-left party that is pro-Russian, Social Democratic Party, and then you'll broadly have a centre-right Liberal Party that's pro-Western. Moldova mainly came under the latter, being led by socialist leaders that were pro-Russian, until recently with Mia Saba, I think that's how you pronounce her name, came to power, and she started pushing the country in a more pro-Western position. Now obviously I'm going to eventually visit the region of Transnistria. That's a contentious subject. Will I even get there? Will I get in? Who knows? But that's my aim, is to go there. Where along the Dniester River, which flows through Moldova, is a Russian garrison that never left after the Soviet Union collapsed. And now you have a de facto independent Soviet rump state in Transnistria with the hammer and sickle and all the Soviet memorabilia that I can enjoy and look at. So I am very much looking forward to going to Transnistria, if I am allowed. Please willing that I am allowed. But Russia uses this to coerce Transnistria's foreign policy. It applies pressure on Moldova to be neutral, which maybe Mia doesn't want to be. She's pro-Western, she's definitely pro-European Union, and definitely wants to reap the benefits from that. But there is a large contingent of Moldova that is pro-Russian, and Moscow uses that to coerce Moldova to, I wouldn't say fall in line, but to not push for NATO integration. Moldova gets its gas exports, from the Russian company Gazprom that runs through Transnistria, and that is a large part of why Moldova is neutral, because those gas imports keep their energy cheap, and if they got rid of them and Russia turns the tap off, well, the Moldovan people suffer, and guess what? Mia's popularity suffers as a result. So it's a balancing act. So that's a brief, very much oversimplified, deep dive into Moldovan geopolitics and politics in general. What you will see quite a lot of in Eastern European countries is this. Tens or hundreds of babushkas, Russian grannies or Moldovan grannies, selling handmade trinkets, flowers, chains, all that. And you see that all along Eastern Europe. I've come into what looks like the Chișinău's park, and what you see is you have these heads, as you can see, all along. I have no idea who these guys are. I'm not gonna act or pretend like I know who these people are. Might know some of them, but there you go. All along here, all along there. Pretty cool. Stumbled onto, literally stumbled. I don't know if you can see that, but that is a helicopter over there. The Moldovan Museum. Again, I can't read Moldovan, but we will hopefully get be able to look at certain historic people. Look at the road. Yeah, I don't mean to curse, like, but my God, this is right outside of this amazing building. Again, bizarre, beautiful building. No, let's go inside. That guy walking into the building there, shaking hands. Probably a politician of some type, getting his picture taken. Corrupt. Marx, Lenin, I think that's Frederick Engels. There's the main man. Red Terror. Innocent people, political, religious, social reasons, starved to death. All under the pretext of whatever the fuck they were believing in. There's the big man. I'm really happy I stumbled in here. This is, God, I could legitimately have a field day in here. Family deportations. Two really cool looking maps here I want to show you. First of all, some anti-Soviet posters and organisation, as well as a Gulag uniform with photographed. Now I've been to Krakow. That looks like exactly what it was like in Krakow. A map of the Soviet Union. Now, we're about here, but you can see all the gulags. Vorkuta, where's that famous for? Sovietsky, Leningrad, all dotted across the Soviet Union. Kazakhstan, Novosibirsk, Salem, Magadan, Norilsk, everywhere. Very few of these gulags exist. And over here, we have a map of Moldova. I'm being quiet here because it is a museum. I'm trying to be respectful, but all the operations of deportations, of family deportations, as you can see. This was a great find. Really, really happy. This is what we were talking about before. Moldova was actually part of was called Moldavia and Wallachia, which is after the Russo-Turkish War in 1812. That red line, which is now Moldova, went to the Russian Empire, while Moldavia and Wallachia became a sort of vassal state of the Ottoman Empire. So that's when the first sort of divides started to happen. After the end of the Russian Empire in the 1917s, and flags like this here became symbols of all the breakaway republics that happened after that in that 1917 to 1919 region. That was probably the first flag. That was the first flag of the Moldovan Republic. But then after that, it was then annexed to that pinky kind of colour, Bessarabia. That was Bukovina. That's what I mean whenever I say Bukovina. That became annexed by the Soviet Union in 1940, but it then voted to join Romania, which it had a lot of cultural similarity to, and still does, and that way it stayed until 1940. That seemed important. Everyone's wearing suits, and there's a European Union flag. That seems important. A bit too upper class for my levels, but at least we got a wee bit of something there. Yeah, that's what I mean when we were in an official Moldovan meeting. I didn't get the best footage because she told me to get out. Respectfully, I did oblige to that, but that seemed to be something government type. I think the Ukrainian flag was there, the EU flag was definitely there, the Moldovan flag was definitely there. Speaking of Moldovan politics, here's Mia Sandov's gaff. And then here, well, I can't really see it, but behind these trees, that's the Parliament building. That's how close it is. Now, the one criticism I have, Mia, her gaff's immaculate, and it's Moldovans like their buildings tall. Maybe they're compensating for something, but your pool game is severely lacking here. Could have a pool party here whenever you win an election or something, but it's very, very cool. And just walking into the presidential massive building. How many stories do you think that is? Anyway, very cool. And then there's a Parliament building over there, less cool. If you're wondering why it's so empty, there's a half marathon on. It's clapping that man there, but here we go, the Parlamentul Republiki Moldova, or the Moldovan Republican Parliament, or something like that there. But look at this here, folks. This is, I can't really say I was expecting. Oh well, I can say I was expecting this, but my goodness, it's the fact it's so close to the, like literally you roll out of bed and you're into work. Like for me, not bad. I wonder, was this the Politburo at one stage? Was this used by the leaders of the Moldovan SSR or SSR? Obviously Moldova being a very Orthodox Christian country, you say what you want about them, but my god, this is the first one I've had close to that. Beautiful church. Right, we'll see if we can get in it here. The church, that's disrespectful, but Jesus. It does look beautiful from what I've seen inside, but I'm not going to film it because it's rude, and I wouldn't like if anyone did that to my church in my house. It's rules to live by. Oh my god, commie blocks. Authentic commie blocks. Could as easily just be the Falls Road. Could easily just be West Belfast. Poor babushkas Probably don't get much of a pension over here. You know, you can't really say like, oh, they're scheming or scaving, like they need that money more than I do, like. But probably don't get that good of a pension over here. That's why, as I showed you before, they sell trinkets and stuff to make ends meet. One thing I have noticed, you know, Moldova is a very culturally homogenous state. I've seen quite a few Asian women. I haven't seen any Asian men. Make of that what you will, but I've seen actually quite a lot. You know, relative to what I thought they should be. Amount of Asian women. Again, I'm in the city, but I've seen quite a few. What does that mean? Moldovan men.
Go you for prison.
No way. Hardly now.
Speak me. I go you from prison.
Huh?
Why?
Why you go prison? No way.
I'm exit for prison.
What's your name?
My name is Vladislav.
Vladislav?
Don't scary. Say say for you. I'm exit for prison. What's your name? Bye.
Bye. No name.
Don't scary. I'm no boy. I'm very really. I'm staying there.
Kemal Ataturk cannot escape me, even in foreign countries. As you can see, this is the embassy. Right, Kemal Ataturk. There you go. Turkish embassy in Moldova. Just found the bad guy's secret evil villain lair. Oh no. It's the Russian embassy of Moldova. Uh-oh. I just saw a woman go in there that you have to get keys locked. Yep. I really hope this doesn't get me put on a list somehow by videoing that. Day 2 in Moldova, and my god was that hostel I was staying in an absolute kip. For €10, what can you, it's equivalent to €10, what can you really expect? But I'll show some clips here, but it was awful. The guy's alarm went off at 7 o'clock. I didn't sleep well at all. I'm dehydrated, so I'm going straight to the shop right now, but I did not sleep well at all. I didn't leave once I left because I was out of my shit getting stolen. They were all Russian, which make it that what you will, but no, not a nice place at all. Hotel Hostel Buddha. Unless you are a deep sleeper like that, man can sleep through alarm going off right beside your head. Not for me. No. Hostels aren't for me, I think. Maybe I'm just spoiled. Maybe I'm spoiled. I'll show you the clips here, but maybe I'm spoiled. This is probably the thing I've been most nerdy about. We have... There's a man in the car, so I'll not make it too obvious. That is my first Lada, the famous Soviet motor company. The fact that thing's still going says a lot about it, but there you go, Lada. That's one ticked off the bucket list. I know I give a lot of shit to NI water back home, but the tap water here is not drinkable in my opinion. I know I did see some people in the hostel drink it, but my god, was that thing just fallout water. Like, that thing was irradiated. We're not actually that far, well, we're decently close to Pripyat and Chernobyl, but I would not be drinking the water here. I've never been as happy to have a bottle of water drank in my life. That's a rookie mistake, not bringing water with me to bed. Fuck, that was rough last night, so rough. Just found an interesting Soviet or Moldovan number plate. You ain't slick, buddy, you ain't slick. That bar is packed at 8 o'clock in the morning. Don't think they're beating the Eastern European stereotypes there.
That's your ticket. So let me show you the bus.
Is that up there? Thank you. Like no Romanian, no Russian, no.
It's okay.
Yeah. Good English. Good English. Yeah.
So you came here to visit?
Yeah, Ireland.
Oh,
yeah,
you're from Ireland.
Yeah.
Okay, so you came here with your bus. I think you have a seat. Thank you. I am Marina.
Thank you, Marina. Matthew. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Very nice lady. Get me my bus. We came down all the way from here. We are in Old Orthy, which I've seen a wee bit of on the drive down. It's a old cathedral on the side of a cliff, which sounds promising. I now have to climb all these stairs with with this bag on me. Oh, I am gonna be so lean after this. I barely eat. I barely drank. Probably should drink more water. But yeah, Old Orthy, and the last bus I think out of here is at 3 o'clock. So be back in time for that, obviously. Shit, it's me. I don't want to fuck with you actually, but yeah, I'm goated. There's a baby goat too. Yeah, holy crap, it's me. It's me. I really hope he didn't see me anger the goat. Here we are, Old Orthy. Could you imagine coming up here for a mass every Sunday? Holy, good endurance though. Here we are. I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to film, or I don't know who's here. Oh wow. Look at that. Right, let's see how much I can film here. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a wee bit disappointed in that. I don't know what I expected it to be, but it's cool as it's there's monks in there. Like obviously I didn't want to film them. Like, but it's a monastery, a couple of monks out cleaning the premises, taking care of it. I mean, I expected to be able to go inside it, but then he's nope. No. So I didn't. But there, Old Orthy. It is beautiful, like, and it is situated. I think that's the Route River, not the Dniester River, but we'll go to the town here and see if we can get something to eat. But yeah, see, there's a hotel here and there are restaurants, so I'm starving. This is what you expect whenever you think of Moldova. Yes, Chișinău was nice. It was, parts of it were nice. I think just like anywhere. But you can tell it's at least trying to move forward. It's just some man's farmland I'm walking in. Can you imagine how strange this is? Like, if one of them sees me, just with the. I know it's a popular enough tourist destination, like popular for Moldovan standards, but yeah. So we came out of that restaurant there, the eco restaurant here in Orthy, and it was actually very nice. I had wine, Kigali I think it was, which was like heart and loads of different other meats mixed into one, onion and egg, had two of them, and then they had their cottage cheese, which is like a bready type substance with apples in it and sugar on the top. I'm not confident standing on this. Social liberalism, social democracy. That's the differences between the two. Share a bathroom and a shower, but that's what 20 quid gets you. It's not bad compared to last night. Like, that was only what, that's £10 more, and I get at least my own bed. I get my own room, shower, bed, bathroom. I don't really care. Bed, probably not the comfortable, but I'm not complaining after yesterday. I cannot put into words how bad that was. But yeah, typical Soviet bed. Thinking about Chișinău, you could literally put this in any European city and I genuinely wouldn't bat an eye. You could tell me this was Krakow. The only Eastern European city I've been to is Krakow. Generally parts of it identical from the part of Europe. The cars they drive, the way they are. This really is an outlier in the Soviet Union, and it was obviously in the Soviet Union for a lot less longer than all the rest of the states. That's clearly shown even in the architecture. I know some of it's brutalist. Some of it you could tell me this was parts of Paris, and I generally would not find conflict in that. So yeah, that's just one of my thoughts. I think it's stunning. It's cheap. It's so cheap. This is one of the cities that, you know, as I say, a bus trip that was near 40 miles or 60 kilometres was £1.50. Like, if the bus service like that in Northern Ireland was at, I would be getting the bus every single day. But no, that's just some of my thoughts. It's so cheap, food's so cheap, accommodation's cheap, everything's cheap. Your money goes a long way here, so I'd suggest you come here, see it for yourself. Now behind me is the statue that's commemorated to the people who fought for their lives, called the Heroes of Leninism, Irolio Leninisti Kosmoli, or the Heroes of the Leninist Council. It's important to realise, and it's quite a startling fact, is that in this thing here, 20 million Soviets died. 20 million in 4 years. Wiped off. I was wondering if you think about, you know, instead of thinking of it as a statistic, as an actual person, it's quite stark. That's the entire population of Ireland 3 times over, just dead. I knew I'd leave something out. All over the USSR and the Eastern Bloc, or the Warsaw Pact, you'll find statues like that, not only in the cities and capital cities, but in some local villages and small towns. You will find statues or memorials dedicated to the people that lost their lives during World War II, or is what they call the Great Patriotic War. So yeah, I'll include that because it'd be wrong for me not to. It was a lot of Moldavians can actually claim Romanian citizenship, and with that Romanian citizenship they can actually get EU passports. So that's why there's a lot of connections between Moldova and the EU, and because the Moldovan people can get EU passports in the veil of being an EU citizen. Hello doggy, you don't look well, do you? No. Hello. Hello. You don't look well either, but that's a nice doggy. Currently on the bus to Tiraspol, no told no video, no photo, nothing. Okay, so I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to film, but this is pretty serious. Wait, do you see this? If you want a confirmation that this is completely different to Moldova, here we go, day 3, and I'm just going to run you through what happened. So I got on the bus, we went over, before we got to the border with Transnistria, there was a Moldovan checkpoint that we didn't go through. It's for people coming back, but there was heavily on presence there. Moldovan army was there. Then went to the passport, everyone had to get off the bus, go through the passport, and then he interrogated me, but where I was going, where I was staying, how long, all this here. But this is what I think of when I think Soviet Union. I think this. I've seen Russian flags, Transnistrian flags, seen hammered sickles. I've seen the flag of the United Russia, which was Putin's party. I've seen this. Is such. I'm actually a wee bit nervous filming stuff. One of my, yeah, I have no signal on my phone. It doesn't work here. Look at this. I'm at the bus station or train station. Old Soviet train station. Everyone speaks Russian here. It's Cyrillic alphabets and Russo-Romanian. At least I understand a wee bit of it because I know the letters. This is. I'm a wee bit on edge here, not gonna lie. But I'll come back when I have something interesting to show. I really can't emphasise enough how much of a time machine I felt I've stood into. But what I'm going to do now is explain the politics of Transnistria. Along the Dniester River, which I'm sure I'll put a picture of up, there is what you have Transnistria. Now Transnistria broke away from Moldova whenever it declared independence in 1991 through a conflict that was known as the Dniester War. This set up a demarcation line along the Dniester River, and a government, or a de facto Russian Rum state, was formed called Transnistria that has existed ever since. I've already seen some Russian Garrison soldiers with their AK-12s. I've seen. I'm not usually lost for words, but this is. You watch these things, you read these things, but actually seeing it in person, it's quite stark. But this is how Russia exerts its control through Transnistria on Moldova through its Russian garrison troops. Now, since the 2022 war in Ukraine, this has caused a wee bit of an issue with Russia, with it bordering Transnistria bordering Ukraine. I will hope to go there. I'm not banking on it, but that has caused Russia not being able to fully supply its troops. That's led to conversations in Moldova, the Moldovan parliament, if they should actually invade Transnistria and take it over. But obviously that would cause a bit of an international incident, and you don't want to poke Russia too much. Also, Alexander Lukashenko, he, in his border plans after Ukraine, talked about invading Moldova through Transnistria. Shane, get a picture of that here. So this is really armed presence, armed guards. Don't know if people speak much English here. I don't really want to give away to them. I don't know. But I'm going to take off the layer here because it's roasting. Look what I found. Oh my god, this is... When you think of Soviet Union, we've officially found our first Lenin head. honestly try and see if I can go in the building, but hammering sickles on there, hammering sickle on the flag. Fortunately I was told no by the lovely woman I could not walk around in the Transnistrian Parliament building, of course, but these are probably all heroes of Soviet and probably Transnistrian times. Look at that one there. Look at the amount of medals he has. He barely has enough room on his jacket to cover them. I don't know many of these. I presume he was the president up until 2011, 1990 to 2011. Look at her. Look at the amount of... She obviously did a decent job. Judging by the amount of medals she has. Yeah, randomly found that. I have no signal here, so just randomly found that. And over here, that possibly could be the Russian embassy. I'm not going to chance that though. Again, we have another one. Again, I can't speak Russian, but I know numbers. So that's 1941 to 1945, Russian man, Russian woman. Dedicated to those who lost their life in the Great Patriotic War. A lot of women served in the Soviet army. Some famous ones like the sniper, I forget her name, who met Eleanor, or is it Eleanor Roosevelt? Or FDR's wife. Yeah. I feel a wee bit more comfortable carrying my camera around, still not fully, but it's feels like a part of Russia. Like all buildings, you have the Russian flag and the Transnistrian flag. It tells its own story, it tells you a lot actually. As I'm walking, it's just strange to me that a country that has its own passport, has its own license plates, has its own flag, government, tax system, army, kinda, police force. This is a country. This is succinct for Moldova, and like that was very much clear whenever I was crossing over the border. Even just culturally, significantly different. But if you look for this country, you will not find it on a map. This is really... How many people could tell you where Transnistria is? Yeah, how many people could tell you what Transnistria is, or where it is, or how to get there? Not many people, so this is a hidden gem, so to speak. A time machine back to Soviet times. That was clear whenever you seen the hammer and sickle, the buildings, the architecture, the people, the way they live. This is, if you want to experience the Soviet Union in 2024, come to Transnistria. We're currently in a commie block, apartment. That's something checked off the bucket list. £13, not bad. The only thing is, it is about 4 kilometers from the city centre. But the only thing is, this is the Ukrainian side of Tiraspol. So what I'm going to try and do today, and what I'm going to try and do now after I leave off my bag and text her here about that I'm in, is we're going to try and go as far as we can to the Ukrainian border. As far as we can. Like I said, we're about an hour away from the an hour walk away from the Ukrainian border. It's about 5 miles down this main road. So we're going to see how far we can get. I don't know if I should be looking forward to it, but I'm excited to see what is going to happen if what's there. See if there's any border patrol or something. My plan was to go down that road there, but there's a checkpoint along there, so there's a secondary route that's more off-road. We'll see how far we get, but that's one plan failed. That's even a good bit away from it, like, so we'll see how lucky we get here. But yeah, somewhere over there, I can hear, is Ukraine. I'm actually quite nervous now. if you do like this, like and subscribe, make this worth it, because I'm putting my life on the line. Possibly it's a greater chance than 1%, I would say, at this point. But yeah, somewhere over there, that's where Ukraine is. Let's see how far we get. Transnistria actually exerts a lot of control over Moldova through its gas system. I think I mentioned that, and by Russia, an extension of Transnistria. Like Gazprom, I think, is one of the big companies. Which I think Gazprom, isn't it led by Gerhard Schröder, or isn't he the former German Chancellor? Isn't it headed by him? But yeah, I want to see how far we get. That man there in that white Opel gave me a lift. I'm about 2 kilometres from the border right now. We had to go through another checkpoint. He wasn't checked because this is his, I think it's B's or something. I don't know how I've done this, but now I'm even more nervous because we got past the initial checkpoint. Now they're going to be like, how the f*** do you get in here? Again, 2 kilometres from the Transnistrian Ukrainian border. As you can see, it's just, I'm surrounded by lush fertile fields, and over there you literally can see in the foreground, that is Ukraine. Obviously I'm not going to try and cross at all, or I'm just going to go as far as I can and then somehow scrounge a lift back. But yeah, this is actually starting to get a wee bit too, it's probably a greater likelihood of chance that I'm probably going to get some sort of repercussion, because I'm far closer than I should be. But yeah, this is all a wee bit mad now. That's why I came here. Directly over that road there, I don't know if you can read that. Checkpoint. We've done it. I want to go a wee bit further. Try and get a better shot of that actual checkpoint. Over there's Ukraine. Okay, I'm not going to risk it anymore. I think we've done more than enough getting past the initial checkpoints to get to here. And yeah, that's it. That's something massive ticked off. But I'm not going to try and get over there. No, not chancing that. Right. Very happy. Ukraine, yeah. I'm not going to say it that loudly because for obvious reasons. Very happy though. Very, very happy. Now I have all that civilization there to walk back to. Was it worth it? Yeah, it kind of was. It kind of was worth it. It's also obvious to point out that the fighting has been done probably hundreds of miles away. But this is a flashpoint. That there is the border between an aggressor state and one that is intrinsically linked to it. But as I say, the fighting's been done hundreds of miles away. But as I think I've mentioned before, Lukashenko planned that if Russian troops make it to that border there with Transnistria, they will push on into Moldova. I don't know if that was done to scare NATO or the EU or whatever, but yeah, I think that's pretty significant. I don't. Is it significant? I don't know. I think it's cool and interesting. So, like and subscribe. Do it. But there's a bus coming behind me, so let's just act now. So I'll put you in my pocket now. Went past me twice. Probably went up to the checkpoint. Maybe resupply them. Yeah. I was hoping they maybe could give me a lift, but I'll take not being thrown in the back of it over that. Look at the amount of bees. Get up on me! They're stinging! They're all over me! Ah, stung in the back of my head too. One fuck me. Stung about fucking 50 times. Get away, you fuck. Oh, oh. And one of them's not a lot. I ran about, and your man just stood there and laughed at me. Just stood there and laughed at me. I ran about. Oh my god. From where they were, not ages ago because I had to run. He just stood there laughing at me as I ran for my life, as he. Oh, that's the last thing I need. That's so funny. I think I captured some of that, like, but he just stood there and laughed. Oh, it's still so. This is so comical because it's not. The riskiest thing even in this place isn't the Russian soldiers, it isn't the Transnistrian police, it's not even, you know, the fact it's so close to an active war zone. It's the bees. They were vicious, man. Oh my, there's something so ironic in that. Like, I've been stung twice in the back of the head, once in each leg, one in my middle finger, and then one fucking, I think, down my foot somewhere. I'm so happy I got that on camera though. This would have, you never would have believed me. So yeah, don't watch out for the Russian Garrison, watch out for the Transnistrian bees, because they are vicious and they prey upon foreigners. Hello doggy. Okay, I'm not gonna, I've already petted you once. Hello. We are back. I did get left the last mile. I think that's me for the day. I'm wrecked. My legs are wrecked. My hamstrings wrecked. My foot is wrecked. Feet, plural. My middle finger is aching because that bee sting. My legs are stinging because of bee sting. My back of my head. I'm in agony. So I think that's going to do it for day 3. Placebo, or no, it's placebo, thank you. До свидания. Just watching some Russian state TV before bed. Goodbye, commie block. Day 4 in Moldova. We're in Transnistria. I was thinking there last night. I think I came in with a lot of prejudice to Transnistria, a lot of bias, which I don't think was fair. I feel like a lot of that was probably perpetuated by, you know, what we've been seeing on, you know, the news for 2 years now, due to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And I feel like I've unfairly treated, or I haven't treated anyone unfairly. I've been quite respectful in my opinion, but I feel like I've come in with a prejudice to the Transnistrian people, and you know, there is a war going on and there are signs of it, but at the same time people just get on with their lives, and I think that's evident anywhere. I think, you know, talking to my parents whenever they were at the height of the troubles, people just get on with life, and that's just the same anywhere. So yeah, that's just what I was thinking last night, thinking that over. Now, if you've ever played COD 4 Modern Warfare, this reminds me of the mission All Gillied Up. So we have an abandoned Soviet, what do you call these? Ferris wheels? No? Isn't it Ferris wheel? Yeah. God. yeah, it reminds me of all gillied up COD 4 goated mission. Now behind me is a guy called Kotovsky, who was a Soviet military general in the late 1910s, early 1920s. Now, one thing I did not mention about Transnistria is it was actually a part of the Soviet Union far longer than Moldova was. Now this guy here, Kotovsky, he's renowned in Transnistria because he actually set up Transnistria as an autonomous socialist republic within Ukraine, and that meant that Transnistria was in the Soviet Union for 80 years, while Moldova was only in the Soviet Union for 40-50 years. That makes a big difference, especially those foundational years Moldova was a part of, and this guy's a large part playing it. So yeah, I did not mention that, but that's something interesting to mention. So that probably has a lot to do on the culture. This was a region that was in the Soviet Union from the foundation, and this guy here, who I think was born in Moldova, was a key reason of that. I think he was actually killed. He was killed in 1925. I think he was killed by his best friend or something along those lines. But yeah, Kotovsky, he's the reason Transnistria exists. Something you'll find when you come to Moldova is the fact that all the supermarkets have the same name, Sheriff. The football team's called Sheriff, and why that is it's all essentially owned by the same oligarch, who I'd say de facto controls Moldova, controls all the shopping centres, controls supermarkets, controls football team. It's called Sheriff Tiraspol. I think they actually played Man United in the Europa League back in the day. I do remember that. I think I've seen some of their football clubs TikToks. So yeah, that's why it's called Sheriff, and that's where you'll find it all over the place. Ex-KGB officer, I think he was as well. I'm at the centre here of Tiraspol, and up there you'll find the flag of Transnistria, the flag of Russia. But something I found very interesting is flag Transnistria in the middle. I think that's Abkhazia, the green white one with the hand, and then the white and red and yellow one is the flag of South Ossetia. Now, if you know anything about what's happened, what Russia's been doing, those are two, Abkhazia and South Ossetia, are two breakaway regions from Georgia that happened in the 2008 invasion. So this kind of tells you who Transnistria kind of sees itself with and showing solidarity with them. And now this Alexander Serov, will get a better video of him soon. His horse is Alexander Serov. Now, Alexander Serov is a famous Russian imperial general, and why he's noted and why he's given such a massive statue is because he was actually the man who liberated this region and other regions like Crimea from the Ottoman Empire during the late 1700s Russo-Turkish War. There was two of them. I think there's one in 1770 and there's one in like 1790, I think, or something along those lines. He was also famous for his he fought in the Napoleonic Wars on the side of the Austrians, or he died for, but he was a very renowned general, very great general. And yeah, Alexander Serov. And it's right here. This is Catherine the Great. Now, my Russian history, especially predating anything before, say 1800, wouldn't be the best. But I know Catherine the Great's significant because, well, she's great in her name. But was she the Russo-Swedish War? Wasn't that what she was famous for? Don't know, but she was a phenomenal leader for Russia. And if you have the name Great in your name, or you're given the title, you're not doing much wrong, are you? Oh yeah, we got the Transnistrian money spread. No, but in all seriousness, what I'm doing this for is just to show you that Serov is on 10, the 1, 25, the 100, and some other aristocratic dude, but yeah. Interesting. Always good to look at the currencies. Now, we're going to get there eventually, but here we have the Russian T-34. I want to say it's the T-34. Anyway, these were pumped out by the absolute minions by the Soviets. And it's one of the main reasons that they won the Second World War, the Great Patriotic War, was due to them being able to pump out millions of these. Got the red star there, obviously a very Soviet symbol. Soviet soldiers used to try and get close but not touching anything. Used to sit on the back there and hold on. Used to actually be part of the armour was the soldiers in the back. But yeah, very, very, very cool. Now, that's the Parliament building. As I said yesterday, the building I went to was actually the City Hall. My bad. Now, here's another exciting thing. Is we have the Eternal Flame. You find these all over. Obviously it burns brightly as a sign of remembrance to all those who lost their lives. But yeah, Eternal Flame, Orthodox Church. Something else memorabilic, a Lenin statue on the Parliament building. Very, very, very Soviet. All these graves behind me. I've actually only clocked now what these actually are. These are people who died. It says 1992. This was the Transnistria War, and this is obviously the remembrance. You'll find like heads of people's on these, as well as the amount of people that died, which is significant. But reminds me a wee bit of isn't it the Vietnam War in Washington? So yeah, 1990, 1992, the Transnistria War. All people who lost their lives. And I would really love to know what this says, but why is there a bell, some sort of Russian Orthodoxy, and a nuclear sign? There's a statue of the CCP. Now this one's dedicated to the Great Patriotic War. Absolute stumble upon a gem here. This man here with his AK-47, another very Soviet symbol. Very, very happy. I'll quickly cross this busy road. Oh my goodness. This absolutely massive statue of Lenin outside. This is the Transnistrian Parliament. Massive. These used to be all over the Soviet Union, but got taken down for obvious reasons. But look at the sheer. I can't, like, this is massive. Like, this is me normally. This is how much. Wow. Russian flag, the Transnistrian flag. I'm not going to chance going into it, but I'm going to try and get closer because you can see the Soviet seal up there on top of the building. Now it is worth noting that Transnistria is essentially one-party state. Its party is linked to the United Russia Party, which is Putin's party, that holds 34, like the 40 seats. So it's de facto one-party state, but the streets are clean. You know, maybe the pavement's not nice. Crime rate's low. I'm not saying anything. But yeah, statue Lenin, class. And that there is the Russian consulate. Everyone laying out. Armed guards. Carrying out. One thing about me is one of my favourite films of all time is a James Bond film. Well, it's definitely my favourite James Bond film, but it's From Russia with Love. And one of the plot points in that was they had to sneak into the Russian consulate through a woman called Tatiana Romanova, who was an incredibly beautiful woman. Her actress, I think she was actually Italian, but I can't mind her name. But that's it there. I think he's showing you some now. Whenever you're going through Transnistria, you will find loads of people wearing military uniforms, whether it be soldiers or people with the hats. With the hats and officers or people who are higher up, you'll find that everywhere. So it's just kind of normalised here, and I've kind of got a wee bit used to it. Yeah, I feel a lot more comfortable now. Board there. It says 1944 to 2024. And if I know anything about Russian troop movements, that was probably the year that Suppor was liberated from the Nazis by the Soviets. And I don't know what date that is, but that's probably a pretty significant thing coming up, or may have already happened. Maybe it could have happened on May 9th, which is the VE Day. But yeah, that's celebrating 80 years? 80 years of liberation from the Nazis. So yeah. Again, I can't tell you how cool this wee area is. There's so much packed into one wee area. And also orthodoxy. Very cool. Look at those Americans. Look at those Americans having it. Get a tour guide. What do you need a tour guide for? You already know this stuff. This, like, I'm not even telling you that much interesting stuff. And I think I might do this for today. I've still haven't recovered properly from yesterday. I probably need a week's rest to recover. But what do you need a tour guide for? I seen tour guides for like 100 euros, more than 120 euros for a day. For a day, and that's not including hotels, not including food. For a tour guide to tell you. My God Almighty, don't understand that. I mean, people say it's always part of the experience, but I'm doing this for free. I'm telling you probably what he's saying. He probably knows a bit more than me actually, because he's probably from here, but don't really get tour guides, to be honest. This massive farmers market. You can see on there how big it is. This is what, 18 euros in a Transnistrian hotel gets you. Just solid. TV, bed, Wi-Fi. Small bed now, I'm not gonna lie, feet probably will be sticking out of it a wee bit, but I've been relatively happy. Apart from a bit of hostel, that's probably why I've spent a wee bit more money, because I'm not doing that again, but very happy. 18 euros. Very nice hotel. Just like a few things about Transnistria is I don't think you can get money out of ATMs here, especially if you're using a Western bank card. What I would recommend, even if you're going to Moldova, is bring a decent wad of cash with you. Well, it'd be dollars, euros, pounds, whatever. Bring a decent wad of cash with you, because there's hundreds of exchange stores here, even in Transnistria. All I did was change my euros into Transnistrian rubles, it's fine. But I think the struggle would be getting money out of the ATM is the only thing. So yeah, I think this holiday is going to come to around 500, maybe £600, which I think is pretty decent, you know, for what I got out of it. Now, I did, one thing about me is I am quite cheap. Would I say cheap? I'm frugal. I'm frugal with my money. I haven't had today. Did I eat yesterday? I didn't eat yesterday. Well, I probably could do with a wee bit of losing a few kilos. The only thing I've drank water, and I've drank a thing of Coke here. Wee bit of sugar in the system. But yeah, I think I'm going to eat today, so I'm going to get more money out. But yeah, bring money with you. It's just getting worse and worse. The amount of water that fell in 15 minutes, that was crazy. I know there was a storm announced, but yeah, there was a storm yesterday. I tried to get footage of it, but I don't think it came off too well. But yeah, this is crazy. The amount of water that landed, it's kind of spitting out like, but that was a lot of water in 15 minutes. If you're ever in Transnistria, Boss Burger on 25th of October Street. That's scrap. Very good, very good. And this is only like £7 for steak burger. That's proper steak and a Coke. Class, and I haven't had in a while, so I'm going to treat myself. Boss Burger, 25th of October Street, To Transnistria, if you're ever here for some reason. And I think with that, my time in Transnistria has come to an end. Tomorrow I'll be going back to Chișinău for my last day in Moldova. I've really enjoyed I've really enjoyed Transnistria. It's beat my expectations. I had low expectations though, I'll give it that. The streets are clean, people are nice, friendly. You know, you do well with a few Russian words that I know, but you get a little Russian actually goes a long way actually. Food here is nice, drinks are nice. All along the Transnistria River, I've really enjoyed my time here. Really enjoyed my time. It's been everything I expected to be, and absolutely way more. And I say the first day I was kind of harsh on it. I have to say, really harsh on it. Today I've absolutely loved every second here. History. It's a flavour of the Soviet Union. Not many things have Lenin statues or Soviet or communist street names anymore. Transnistria does, or Prionestrovie or whatever it's called in Russian. But yeah, the Eastern River, we're a country that you may probably have never heard of, or at least you can't find on a map, exists. And what a gem it is. It really actually has beat my expectations. And it's incredibly cheap too. I think it's going to an Eastern European country, that's the norm, but it's class. The only thing that's got me is the South of Ossetia and Abkhazia flags. That's a bit strange now, not gonna lie. But other than that, great. I know the music's loud, but the Soviet mural here, it's obviously two women holding a basket and a man. It's obviously the rural bread of life, food of life, water, housing, stuff like that there. Then you have this one over here, which is a man and a woman hoisting of a child, obviously signifying family values, procreation, all that there. Blown away, come on, like, I'm a sucker for a fountain. There's Santa there. Class. There's a Tesla. But I love Russian Orthodox churches. I think they are unbelievable. I especially love the Orthodox cross, the sideways part. That is beautiful. Really beautiful. Here's Juan. Hello, Juan. As I make my way to the hotels for the night, I've walked across some beautiful, absolutely stunning parts of the city. This place is actually don't always judge a book by its cover, is probably the moral of Transnistria. I did judge it. It took me about a day to realise that wasn't correct, but I've absolutely loved my time here, and that'll probably be me for the day, for real this time. So I found old Jolly Saint Nick. So shows that they respect both their Imperial Russian tradition and also the Soviet tradition as well, which fair play. But well, that's not what I was expecting, but obviously that's the Orthodox cross, that's the Russian Imperial seal. So yeah, at the train/bus station here, a wee bit of handling, bought a ticket for a bus that had already left. So yeah, that was great. That was great. So I had to go ask the train man or the bus man again to give me another ticket, and then he said he couldn't do that, so he asked the bus driver just to let me on the bus. So bit of a handling, but we're grand. We'll get out of here. That's probably the biggest difference between Moldova and Transnistria, is although Transnistria isn't actually openly aggressive to Ukraine, I think it's actually neutral to Ukrainian refugees. That's the difference. There's a crazy pigeon lady in every city in the world, so yeah, but day 6, I'm not really going to record much. I'm going to record my outro in the airport. But yeah, this is just going to be getting read up, going to the airport, getting the bus to the airport, and then record my outro. But yeah, crazy cat lady. Brain rot. Isn't that typical that whenever it starts raining, the day that's literally the airport there, I'd take that. Hey, it only rained once. I was in Transnistria, and then it's raining whenever we're leaving. But yeah, this must be a really old, I'm going to say Soviet aircraft. Cool. And that's the airport there. It's relatively small, but bro's got the dogs out. As you can see, there's only 9 gates. This is the terminal, 9 gates. That's duty free. Small airport. Another thing is the Russian troops that are stationed in Transnistria, they actually there's a sort of informal, I think it's actually a formal treaty between Moldova and Russia that allows the Russian troops to fly in and out of this airport. So that's why you'll see a lot of these signs are actually in Russian, English and Romanian. So yeah, I've actually got lucky with a window seat in every single one of my flights, which is insanely lucky. I don't pay for seats because just whatever, but I've got a window seat both times, which I'm really happy with. It's also strange that I'm the only Irish person on this flight. The majority of people on this flight are actually Ukrainian, so again, only Irish person on this flight to Dublin. Yeah. If you actually see those aircraft there, they seem that they're all abandoned. You can see the moss and the rust on them, probably from Soviet times. As I'm back home, my tour of Moldova comes to an end. I've loved every second of it, I really have. Least visited country in Europe. I don't think it deserves that title. I think there's a lot to see, there's a lot to do. But I just want to say these last couple of words thank you for the support in the last video. I think it basically changed the trajectory of this channel. If you got to this stage, like and subscribe. We're we're not stopping there. We're going to keep going. Might do another one of these holidays. Before the end of summer. But yeah, like and subscribe. I've been History with Matt. Thank you very much for watching.